What's going on, guys? We're on to the next track, Kevin Sousa, Hermosa and Free, and this is American folk music, which I have the alternate mix from the producer. So there was apparently because Kevin died and things weren't finished yet fully, right? And I guess there was a lot of discrepancy about the mix on this song, and they went with what Kevin okayed last, which fair, totally fair. Producer wasn't super happy with that because I guess there was a lot of back and forth between Kevin and the producer on this specific mix. So I was like, you know what, I'll play the middle. I'm all right with that. I'll play the middle. Okay, send me that. I'll play that one. It'll get released on here. Okay, so this is the world premiere of the alternate mix of American folk music, which the producer says. The producer is Shag, by the way, who you saw in my California vlog. He says, so for me, this mix really has another 5 to 10% to go, said every mixer producer ever, before it satisfies my ears completely. Wish I could just lift the drums from the other mix and dump it into this one. Interesting. And I would probably say, well, we'll see. I remember in the other mix, the bass, I had issue with the bass again. And it's like one of those things where it's like, man, we really worked on like the tone of the bass, because the bass is just chugging along. It's like doing the same thing. So it's about the tone, right? That's like what it was all about, because I'm not like playing a ton of notes or anything like that. I'm playing the riff. I remember I brought some like overdrive fuzz kind of pedals, but I think what we probably ended up doing was, I don't fully remember if I ended up using some of the pedals or if I just went with the tube amp and just drove the shit out of it, which is probably what I did, probably, because that probably would have done it. But I have this tiny, I think it's a 110. Yeah, I think it's a 110-inch speaker, 4 watt. It's the AC4 Vox amp. All tube, goes from 4 watts to a 1/4 watt to a 1/10 of a watt. So it gets really, like, you put it down to a 1/10 of a watt, it's like all fuzz all day. That's all it is. It's not clean at all. You put it to 4 watts, you can get it clean, but if you crank it, it'll start grinding a bit. But we were looking for a lot of grind on this song. So American folk music. Let's hear what this one sounds like. This is one, again, where I heard it. I was like, oh man, he wrote this for me. This is awesome. All right, let's get to it. American folk music, alternate mix, the Shag mix. I'll call it the Shag mix. All right, let's do it, Bam.
I need a click down, man, please. Thank you.
What is this progress? What is the good of all this progress onward and onward? We demand a halt. We demand a rest. The object of life is happy living. Arise.
I remember Nick Hughes. They got video of Nick Hughes playing his ass off on this track. And it's like right up his alley also. Yeah, there's no bottom.
Life is a bitch. Yeah, you only bought
Snare is fat.
If you don't have any experience in paying your dues, I'm gonna beat up on you when the deal goes down. While you're praying, I believe it. Working on believing. Pulling on the trigger, you won't find me doing time. American folk music, baby.
Such a desert rock song, right? Such a desert rock song.
And your mind is just a one big full house, and the only way to make it is to be the biggest, the hardest, the coolest one. American folk music, baby.
Out of the end, man. Fuck though.
Cool. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Great one. Another great one. High energy. High energy. But again, yeah, even this mix and the other mix, right? The one that's actually on the record on Spotify and all that. The bass, I'm like, again, it's like this song and the first song, which I feel like are important songs. I feel like they're important songs. It's like, where's the bass? You can't like you're losing that, like the bottom. You're losing it. And I understand that when you use like overdrives and distortions and fuzzes on a bass, that can happen. Like you all of a sudden lose the low end. That's more of an older problem than like a newer problem, because since it's been a problem, companies like pedal companies, manufacturers and stuff like that are coming out with products that, you know, have come out with products that have the low end in it still, right? It's not just like, you know, a bass player using a guitar player pedal and it just, you lose the low end, you know. And lots of times they would like mix signals, right? So they would mix a clean signal with an overdriven signal, and that way you have the low end, but you got the fuzz too, stuff like that. I don't remember if we did any of that with this. Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. I don't remember. But I remember we worked on the tone for this, and that's something that I know and I would keep in mind. It's like, okay, we need to make sure we maintain low, you know, the lows or whatever. So it's beefy, but I'm not getting that beef out of this. I'll tell you what is beefy, that freaking snare. That snare drum is freaking, sorry, I'm blowing on the mic. I shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, that whole thing is freaking beefy. Yeah, the drums, you know, there's video of him that they posted or whatever where he's just like killing this. Hey, you hear it, you know. It's like him all day, just driving that motherfucker home. Yeah, dig it. Yeah, that's my only complaint on this. I mean, it's a great song. It's super driving. It's like that lane, that vibe. I just wish that there was more like low end. You can actually catch the bass like you catch it on some of the other songs, you know. The other songs you're hearing it, it's not like a problem. But this one, the first one so far, it's like, man, yo, where is it? Where'd it go? So it's fine that it's like supportive or whatever, but like you can't even, it's hard to pick out, you know. You should be able to pick things out of recordings. Anyways, aside from that, I think it's cool. Yeah, I really like it. Really like this one. I liked it when I first heard it. I was like, oh, wow. Super cool. All right, awesome. Up next is I Know. And I don't know if I remember. I don't know if I remember this one, so I don't know if I know. But we're going to find out. So I'll catch you then. Later.